Welcome back to the beginner series, and in this video we are going to talk about the basic things that we should note while writing our program in Java. So the very first thing that you see here is where to write our code. Where should we write our code? So we have already seen in our previous videos, right? Like if we want to write our code, we just need to right click on the package and then we will go to this new option and go to this class, right? So this is the class file that we are going to create, and in this class file we are going to just give any name. So this will be program number 2, and here we will be checking this public static void main string args option, and then we will click on finish. So here if you see in the basic programs, now we have another Java class file. This is your Java class file named as program 2, the one that we created. We are going to remove this commented outlines, and now what we are going to do is we write our program, right? So basically, where do we exactly write our program and what the structure is? So we write our program inside this public static void main string args, and in this particular block, inside this particular block of code, we write our program. So whatever we want to write, we are going to write it here. Suppose we have to write, if you want to display a message as we have done in the last class, in the last video probably, and this is like system.out.println, and we were giving a message, right? So I'm just writing, hi, I am from Regrotech. Regrotech. So this is the message that I'm giving, and at last, to mark an end, you have to give a semicolon. Don't forget to add the semicolon. See, if I am when given the semicolon, so we are getting this error. And what does this error say? Syntax error, insert semicolon to complete block statements, right? So we have to give semicolon after each statement. So after each statement, we are going to give semicolon, right? And only for these particular statements that we write inside these curly braces, we need to provide this. And this particular code needs to be written inside your public static void main and between your curly braces, right? So always remember where you have to write your code. This is the place you are going to write your code. And why we have written system.out.println? We have written system.out.println to print everything in the console so that we can see this particular message. How we can see this? We simply have to run this program. We'll right click and then go to run as and then run our Java application. Sorry, I just missed it. So we'll go to Java application. Okay, this will ask you save and launch. Okay, I did not save it, so okay, save it and launch it. So here if you see the complete message, hi, I am from Regrotech. So this is working perfectly fine, and you can just check few information over here that is needed. And here if you see the package name, we'll go from the very first line. So this is the package name, and it is giving the correct package name, right? So this is the basic programs, and inside basic programs we have this program number 2. Correct. Now, just remember this particular structure, because every time we are going to write this Java program, this structure needs to be followed. The very first statement that we are going to say is the class declaration. Class declaration, right? So, at this particular point of time, for beginners, it is recommended that you just by heart this structure. You just by heart this structure, that is start with public and then class, and whatever class name you had given, that class name will automatically resemble here, right? Here if you see, it was program 2 and this is program 2. That is perfectly fine. So this is basically your class name. This is your class name, and after that you open this class name. You open this class name, and here if you see, if when I selected this open bracket, the last bracket that you see is your closing bracket of your class. Okay, so remember this particular thing has to be written here first, and then inside this class we have another thing as public static void main, and this is also mandatory. This is also mandatory here. Like if we want to run our program, if we want to do anything, we need to write it inside this particular place. So this particular structure is what you need to remember when you are writing a program. So when you have this particular structure, now get inside this public static void main, within your braces, inside your braces, just write whatever code you want to write. And then you can run this and that will work perfectly fine. So one thing that you should note here is, you should exactly write you should follow the complete syntax, right? So it should be like public, public, and then your class C is small, and then whatever name you want to write. Suppose I'm giving ABC. You definitely can give any name, not an issue. You can give, so this is ABC, and then you will write public static void and then main. And inside braces, you will write string with S capital, string R's. Okay. So, and this box brackets are there. And then this is the structure that you see here that we had when we had created our class. And then in between, we wrote our program, right? In between, we wrote our program. We were writing all our code over here. So this thing you have to remember, and here we were writing system with S capital, system dot out dot println, and then inside braces you were giving your message, whatever your message was, and this message is getting printed. So whenever you want to print any message, you have to give, and at last don't forget to give this semicolon. And you see with the class we don't have any semicolon. Just make a point, we don't have any semicolon. With this particular thing, this public static void main, this is basically called your method. This is your method and this is its name. This is its method name. So this also doesn't have a semicolon. So any code that is written within the braces has semicolon, right? Okay, just remember for the time being, and when we will proceed further onto different conditional and different looping statements, we will see where to apply semicolon and not. But till this particular video, we are going to use semicolon after our system.out.println and this message. Okay, so this is all about your basic understanding about where to write your code. Now moving to the next thing, Java is case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitive? Case sensitive basically means that if you are giving a name, suppose you are giving name, your class name, like I have given ABC on the top, right? I had given my class name as ABC. I had given class as ABC. So instead, what you will do is, instead of giving this ABC, you can give any other name. But this particular name is not same as your different ABC. So what I am saying is, suppose you have written Ram. Ram is not same as Ram, small Ram with a small r. So these two things you have to consider. Okay. So you have to remember the case. Case means uppercase and lowercase. Both are treated differently in Java. So that's why I was mentioning every time I was writing system.out.println that S needs to be capital, O needs to be small, P needs to be small. Suppose what I am doing is, I just to show you exactly what will Java do if we are changing something. Okay, so if we are changing something, if I remove this capital S and write it with a small s, see, it is throwing error, right? It is throwing error. You see this red line, red underline statement, and here if you go and check what exactly it is showing system cannot be resolved. That is, it is not able to understand what is the system, right? So if you want your things to be in place, just remember that Java is case sensitive, and anything that you are giving has to be done as it is written in the Java library files. So this system S needs to be capital. You even cannot make this out as small means capital. If I do it, see, you get an error over here, right? So always remember this particular syntax and you cannot avoid these things. So Java is your case sensitive. You cannot have uppercase treated as your same as your lowercase. So that capital Ram with capital R is not same as Ram with small r, right? Like here if you see the program name I had given, class name I had given was program2. right? Here if I change this program name to small p, again it will start giving me error, right? So it is asking me to either change this program, rename this particular file, or this particular file this particular file we need to rename as program2. That is the name that we have over here. So instead what we will do is we will keep a note of things that we are not going to change anything at our will, and we will follow whatever is written. Okay, so always remember this particular statement with system as capital S with capital system, and the rest all the things are small. Okay, and everything that we want to print has to be, if we are giving any message, then message has to be inside your double inverted commas. So this was the second point that we wanted to discuss, and that is Java is case sensitive. Case means lowercase and uppercase. Both are treated differently. Both have the same name, same meaning, everything is same. But what will happen is it is not going to treat anything that is different in case. Okay. So lowercase and uppercases are treated differently. Now coming to the naming convention, I was always mentioning don't use a space, don't use a space, right? So here if you see, I had mentioned like this is this particular main that is written, this is a name, and this is actually a class name when I was dictating my here, when I was showing you exactly how things were written here, right? Like ABC is the class name and main is the method name. This particular thing is the method. This complete public static void main is called your method. Okay. So this after class, whatever we are writing, this is your class name. This ABC is your class name. So here if you see in our particular program, this program2 is our class name. Okay. So this particular name, if we are going to give anything as space, even when we are creating, if we are creating also, if we are giving any space, like I'll show you, I'll just try to create a program3 with space. So it is not going to consider, see, if I'm writing program and space 3, see what it has given, type name is not valid. Please type program3 is not a valid identifier. It is giving right. Why it is giving? But if I remove this space, this is fine. See, that message is gone. So this thing you need to understand that we should not give a space in between. Okay. But instead what you can use is only two special characters are allowed in your name. One is your underscore. One is your underscore. That is below, not hyphen. Hyphen is something that is in the between. This is not allowed. Okay. See, you are getting error message on top again. So if you want to use, you can use underscore. Underscore is perfectly fine. And the other thing that you can use is a dollar sign. You can use a dollar sign, but this is also discouraged. This is not recommended to use your dollar sign. Okay, you can use it, but this is just a warning. This is not an error. So warnings can be handled, but errors cannot be. Okay. So just remember, avoid giving any spaces, avoid giving any other special characters except your underscore and dollar sign. Okay, but avoid using dollar sign as well. Okay, since it is giving a warning, we should avoid warnings as well. So here what we are going to do is program3, and we can have numbers if you want. We can put numbers 1 2 3 4 5. You can put any number, you can use anything over here, like I will use this with the combination. But when it comes to special character, जैसे आपका at the rate, like you have at the rate, you have your caret sign, you have your star symbol, you have ampersand, if you have like a dollar, not dollar, hashtag, ठीक है, all these symbols are not used. These are not allowed in your naming convention. You cannot use them to give your name, not even your project name, not even in your class name and your method name. And also one more thing we are going to encounter in future, that is your variable name. We are going to see variables also in our future videos, right? So whenever we are giving a name to anything, we need to just remember this convention wherein it says you should not give a space, don't use any space over here. And also there is one more thing as keyword, so that we will be discussing further in the classes. So this particular thing you cannot do. And also one more thing, if you are using with numbers, so please avoid starting your program name with numbers. Like suppose I started with 3, right? Program3 was there, I have written 3 program. So here you see again this error has come in. Okay, this error has come in and saying again is not valid. So you cannot start your name with numbers. You cannot start with a digit, right? other things you can definitely give. You can use numbers after your first character. That is perfectly fine. You can use numbers anywhere in your program, but you cannot start with. So you can just start with a character. You can start with underscore. That is perfectly fine. See, I'm starting with underscore. That is perfectly fine. I'm starting with dollar sign. That is perfectly fine. But this will throw an warning here. If you see the symbol is of warning, this is fine, but please avoid it. Okay, so you cannot start with a number, but underscore and normal characters are perfectly fine. Special characters except underscore and dollar you are not allowed to use. And one more thing is, don't use space, and also some keywords are not allowed. I'll just give you an example here. For a keyword you cannot use something as if. This is actually a keyword. Okay, so that is why it is giving you type name is not valid. If I give another keyword is your break, so this is also not valid. Though this is a normal convention that we have followed, we are not giving anything. This is not allowed because this is a keyword. So there are few things that we need to understand. And whenever you are giving name, just see to it that you are just giving a simple name. Just give any name that resembles to your program. Suppose the program that I am going to do is display age and number. So I am going to give as age number, age name. Okay, age and name. If I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to just create a class with this particular thing, and then public static void main. If you want to, you definitely should check this in and then finish. Okay, so this will start give you this program. Okay, so that was all about the basic things that you need to remember while writing your JavaScript. And there are many other things that we are going to discuss throughout the series, and also there are few things that we are going to discuss in detail in the course, right? So this was all about our session in the beginner series, and in the next video we are going to see another program wherein we will be handling our different things and we will be writing some